Hello guys, here I am going to talk about neuromarketing. It's one of the important video you should not miss. Please share it with your friends and family to uplift their life and subscribe the channel. Let's get started. The art of promoting yourself. Neuromarketing and human psychology. Getting visibility. Influencing leaders. Here is learning milestones. What you learn this chapter will enable you to sell your skills effectively. Use basic human psychology to influence leaders and clients. Use neuroscience to help leaders notice and favor you. Determine how recruiters and clients make decisions. Align your strengths to the industry needs and vacancies. Recognize opportunities and openings before the competition. Your main selling point is what others say and praise about you. In your absence, happiness is when your talent meets others' expectations.
Selling your skills. The universal truth is that only that which can be seen is sold. Competition is only increasing, and those who can prove their visibility get noticed. Introverted or shy individuals often get left out, and it becomes essential to make behavioral changes in one's personality to remain in the notice of those who matter. You may have the best technical skills among your peers, but in the absence of good soft skills. These tech skills are like gold and cash inside a locker, valuable only to you, but of no value to anyone else. Increasingly, candidates are becoming like products who are in demand only when they have skills that employers need to choose from a large population. In such a competitive scenario, how do you sell your skills? How do you get noticed in a crowd? It is important for candidates to have a working knowledge of human psychology and neuroscience in determining how employers make conscious and subconscious decisions about hiring and buying. By reading others' body language, saying the right words, and using the correct visual mediums, we can get an insight into how the other person is thinking. What do they want? Because once we understand what the other person wants, we can modify our own behavior to match that want. This is how a successful sale is made. Whether it is sale of a product or service or selling yourself in an interview. Neuromarketing as a tool for influencing leaders. Have you ever wondered, why do some people get selected in interviews when others don't, despite having the same degrees and experience? Why do managers select specific people for projects and promotions while ignoring others? What will it take to get your client and leader to give you an appointment for a crucial discussion? Why is that some people get instant feedback or response for their presentations and reports, while others are constantly in suspense over the outcome? The answer lies in the fact that making decisions is both a conscious and non-conscious process in the brain. It is important to not just work and interact with bosses and clients. It is also important to understand their motivations and the reasons why they behave and act the way they do. This involves aligning your intentions with their agenda. This is exactly what neuromarketing aims to do, by triggering positive feelings and emotions in others and compel them to look at you in a positive manner. Neuromarketing is a derivative of neuroscience, which is a combination of human psychology, consumer behavior, and marketing research. The objective of applied neuromarketing is to determine what motivates influencers and leaders to make their decisions, and how our efforts can influence them to choose favorably towards us. While neuromarketing employs tools like VR, eye tracking, EEG, and fMRI, facial coding, and other technological tools, it also involves getting an insight into basic human behavior and motivations through basic psychology.
How do recruiters and clients make decisions? Anyone looking to get hired or promoted or wealthy or just plain lucky can use neuromarketing for their personal gain. Research has shown, and advertising and marketing have proven time and time again, that buying or hiring decisions are taken not just on the basis of data or information, but on the basis of emotion. Where data fails, emotion always wins. People who can understand how to read other people's mind can get their work done. And how does one master this art of reading minds? Simply by using logic and emotion in the same discussion or pitch. Logic gets people to give you a meeting or a chance in an interview to talk about yourself. But in a situation where most others have the same skills or education, how do you convince the recruiter or buyer? By sharing experiences and stories with them that transport them into your world. Through your stories and shared experiences, you can demonstrate to people 1. What they will gain by hiring you or using your product. 2. What they will lose by not hiring you or buying. Either argument or pitch involves a clever use of different kinds of emotions. The following case studies with their analysis demonstrate how a psychology-based approach can be used for personal success in the interview scenario. Case in point, interviewer. How good are you at this task or technology? How long have you been using this technology or software? You. When I was in school, I saw a movie called Artificial Intelligence by Steven Spielberg. That's the first time I felt the impact of science fiction and machine learning in our lives, but I was too young to understand it completely. However, that love for computers and technology stayed with me, and I knew I wanted to make a career in data science. When I was in college, big data analytics was a concept just coming into fashion. I took courses related to big data and ML. In fact, in college, I collated all the data through a software I created and made a database for the library based on user data, and even received a commendation certificate from the founder. I am very passionate about this technology. Analysis. With the above answer, you left an impression in the interviewer's mind. You could have answered by having a boring, technical discussion of the technology and the projects that you have done with this technology. But that's just another routine answer. Instead, you used basic human psychology. You told a story of a college library that had many problems. You took the interviewer and us on a mental tour of the campus. We see the library systems getting transformed thanks to your software. We see books being issued and returned on time, reminders and fines being managed seamlessly. We see a thankful administration and you a reason for their happiness. And the interviewer thinks, this is the kind of candidate I want in my team.
That's what your objective should be in an interview, especially a job interview. To create a movie about you that plays in your interviewer's mind long after you've left the room. You should not just provide information given in our CV about our skills. Instead, you should tell a story about how we used our skills to add value to a situation. Case in point, interviewer, so tell me, what makes you qualified for this job? Why should we buy from you? What is your USP? What skills do you have that others don't? You. Recently, I was part of a team that took part in a hackathon. We were given a community problem and we had to create an app and solution to solve that problem. Everyone was busy working on their tasks and there was a heavy rush on the systems. Just a week before submission date, there was a massive power surge in the transformer. And due to the spike in power, the main fuse of the building blew. It was festival time and a weekend, so the electricity offices were closed. The management tried their best to get the power up without success. It was a crisis situation as our team was sure to win a prize in the competition, which would add a lot of prestige to us and the management. It was a crisis. Everyone was very dejected and frustrated. I left the campus and went to the electricity office at night. There was a watchman sound asleep. I woke him and took the local junior engineer's number. I called the G, but he didn't pick up. I convinced the watchman to give me the J's address. I went to the J's house and requested him for help. The G was very helpful and immediately sent to linesmen with me with spare equipment. The linesmen were able to provide us power through a temporary connection only for 48 hours. But that was enough for us and enabled us to complete our project. I'm proud to say that we went on to get second prize in a field of 100 groups. Analysis. Through this answer, you showed many qualities which are important for recruiters and managers. Leadership, initiative, a creative thinking, people skills. These are the qualities that you get selected for. Your technical skills and education are important but may not be unique to you. but the ability to remain calm under stress and get things done are very valuable to any decision maker. Your interviewer knows you didn't work alone, that you worked on a team, but you don't have to keep bringing up your teammates in the story. The objective is to make yourself look good and be proud of yourself when you tell such incidents. The interviewer will connect the dots and remember you at the time of selection.
3 steps to use neuromarketing for life success. In daily life, decisions are taken based on certain variables. Irrespective of your vocation or vertical, the following are some ways in which neuroscience and neuromarketing can you help attain professional success by following these 3 steps. 1. Attention. This is perhaps the most crucial part of business communication. In ACV, a good headline to describe yourself gets the attention of recruiters. In a presentation, a good opening grabs the attention of the audience. In a job interview, a good handshake and self-introduction creates a positive start to a new engagement. In advertising, media, and FMCG packaging, specially designed logos, colors and fonts are chosen after long research to grab eyeballs. To storytelling. Business storytelling combines data, emotion, and context to influence the listener. In a job interview, telling the interviewer about your experience and involvement in a crucial project, where you were able to solve a major problem, helps them get an insight into your capabilities. Storytelling helps the interviewer to remember you after you have exited the room. A good story about how your success in a particular college or professional project is like a movie about you that plays in your interviewer's head long after you've gone. Stories help you to establish common ground with the listener to change someone's mind, to motivate and energize, or to caution someone against making a mistake. For example, when you are thinking of buying a new smartphone or gadget, you go online and look at reviews. But what are reviews? Reviews are stories. They are not just facts, features, and specifications. They are stories about the experience of others who have used that similar gadget. Case in point. A 75-year-old convent-educated, well-read senior citizen lady had been suffering from progressive hearing loss. Over the years, her son got her the best medical treatment, but her hearing continued to decline. Her hearing loss was also caused from miscommunication and conflict in their house. He and his wife tried their best to convince their mother to wear a hearing aid, but she was totally against the idea. They would show her catalogs and flyers and information on the latest hearing aid solutions, but she would not agree. She would argue. What would her friends think? Embarrassed at the thought of her friends laughing at her hearing aid, she continued to suffer due to declined hearing, but refused to wear an aid. One time, the son took his mother to the doctor for a checkup. The doctor was a friend of his, and while examining her ears, he casually turned to the son and asked, "So when is your wife due for her delivery of her second child?" The son replied, "In 3 weeks." The doctor casually turned to the mother and said, "But Auntie's so sorry, but you won't be able to participate in your grandchild's happiness." The mother was angry and said, "Why are you talking like this?" The doctor replied, "When the child will cry or call out to you, but you won't be able to hear the child." The mother was silent all the way to the home. As soon as she reached home, she told her son to order the hearing aid immediately. She kept on insisting for many days and didn't rest till the hearing aid came. And she hasn't taken it off since. All because she didn't want to miss out on hearing her grandchild's voice. Where data and logic could not convince her, emotion did. 3. Perception and reputation. Successful candidates work on how others perceive them, how others talk about you and think about you, and how that information is absorbed by the leaders contributes significantly to your success. If someone gives good feedback about your presentation skills to your leader, then it can influence their mind towards you. In this case, even your below-average presentation will look good to them. It is very important to cultivate an image and persona where others speak well of you. Due to social media and other channels, this reputation, whether positive or negative, reaches the ears of decision makers very quickly. So pay attention to your professional image and reputation. Someone is always watching. Case in point, recommendations about you or client testimonials of your product are far more effective than your qualifications. Others who have had a good experience dealing with you are the best ambassadors for you. It is always beneficial to ensure that your professional profile on platforms like LinkedIn have good recommendations from credible people who can vouch for your technical and professional ability. Recommendations and testimonials build your reputation.
Recognize opportunities and openings before the competition. 2 easy ways in which you can recognize and capitalize on opportunities before others share. 1. Observation. 2. Matching observation. In this age of hyper-competition, a keen observation of one's immediate environment can help you come out ahead. Successful people have an inbuilt alert system to detect when something around them has changed. It could be a physical change in their leader or nonverbal cues. Either way, though observation, the reader can take immediate action and steps to align themselves with the leaders. If some event happens regularly in your life but does not happen one day as per schedule, it is important to know why. For example, a leader who greets you daily suddenly starts ignoring you, or a co-worker who is always on time suddenly starts to come late. It is important to know why it is occurring and evaluate how and why this change in pattern can affect you, and then enable you to take steps accordingly. Case in point, Shaurya is a software engineer working in a global IT company. He has been on good terms with his boss and clients and quite popular with his colleagues. Since last month, Shaurya has been noticing that client has been delaying responses to his queries. A number of dependencies have cropped up and the backlog is growing. Shaurya has also noticed that lately his boss is not making much eye contact with him. Shaurya initially ignored these signals, but when it became a pattern, he decided not to ignore it any further. He sought an appointment with his reporting manager and asked him if anything was the matter. The boss dropped a bombshell that the project was going to be scrapped and their division may close. Shaurya did not waste time and immediately started looking for opportunities in other groups. He got absorbed in a long-term project that had just been ramped up. Sure enough, after a fortnight, Shaurya's previous project was ramped down and his other colleagues are on the bench. Shaurya's alertness to his environment saved the day for him. 15.6 to matching yourself with your leaders. The principle of matching is that we like to work with people who we think are like us. Matching is a framework that can be used for ensuring that you are prepared for any eventuality. Nothing then will come as a surprise to you, and if there are any serious issues, you will be prepared and equipped to handle these issues.
Matching is done on 2 levels: behavioral and physical. 1. Behavioral. Understand the leader's agenda. In meetings or in a group, observe the kinds of questions leaders or recruiters ask. That will give you an idea as to what is important for your leader. What are their priorities? You may realize that your priorities are different from your leaders. Matching your agenda with your bosses or recruiters will help you in focusing on what is important for your leader, not just for yourself. Case in point, Raghu regularly reads the Economic Times, Mint, and Business World magazine. In one such edition, he read an interview with his company's MD who said that he is very interested in the automobile sector and their main focus in the next 3 years will be on machine learning and AI focused on the automobile sector. Raghu immediately started updating himself with technologies related to driverless cars and automobile security, and in the next town hall, in the presence of the MD, asked questions related to whether their project could be extended to include drones in the e-commerce vertical. The MD was impressed and asked Raghu's reporting manager to include him on an important on-site project related to intelligent autos. 2. Physically matching yourself. Match your pace, walking style, talking pitch and speed, volume with the others. You will find leaders responding better to you. For e.g., if your leader bends towards you to talk, it's a good idea to mirror that posture. In a call, if your voice volume is much lower or higher than the others, that there is a chance you will not be heard.